Hello there, and welcome to another episode of the In Between Podcast. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the In Between Podcast with your host, as always, Kyle McLemore. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Go ahead and punch the old like and subscribe because, you know, it helps the show stay alive, and we appreciate it here at Mom's Garage Studios. How are you guys doing? Wanted to talk about what's going down, what's in the news, and you know it's Leo DiCaprio. I mean, we've always known about Leo and his, I think it's like 25 or whatever, whenever his current girlfriend hits 25, they get the fucking acts. And up until now, it's been one of those things that everyone's noticed, but nobody really cares about. But Leo's taking it to a whole nother level with his new, allegedly, 19-year-old girlfriend that's just like, oh boy, Leo, what are you doing? Yeah, and it's even funnier too because I was reading this, I don't know if you'd call it a news article or whatever, but it's this article. Leo DiCaprio is fed up that he has a reputation for dating young women. Sources claim it really bothers him. And it's like, oh, that's hilarious. I'm so tired of my reputation for eating pizza all the time while I'm eating pizza all the time. Like, no. Oh man, I'm so tired of people saying that, like, oh man, all I ever do is just sit at home and eat pizza. Hey, what you eating there? Pizza? Leo DiCaprio, fuck, dude. I am always sick of people saying that I'm always dating these young chicks, bro. Hey, how old is your new girlfriend? 19. Oh, it's like, oh, Leo, 19, and then he's like, I don't know, approaching 50? Dude, what are you even talking about? I don't even know what I would talk about. And like, I'm fucking like in my 30s. What the hell am I going to talk to a 19-year-old about? I can't even imagine being like 50 or being just Leo. Like, what are you guys talking about? Is it all she ever talked about? It's just like, oh my god, so what was it like being Romeo? And like, you were in Romeo and Juliet, right? And he's just like, yeah, that was like 30 years ago. He's like always, I don't know, it's like, what are you guys talking about? Leo, up until now, it's like, who cares? Like, that dude fights so hard for the environment. It's like, yeah, let him date all the young girls he wants, dude. He's saving the planet. But up until now, it's just like, okay, you're pushing the envelope to the maximum, Matt Leo. Like, holy shit. If anyone could get away with it, it's Leo, though. Yeah, that shit's hella crazy, but we'll see. I mean, like, oh man, it's just like, hey, as long as you're still trying to save the planet, I give you a pass. It's cool, man. I'm sure it won't last forever. None of them seem to really last that long. I mean, like I said, it's like 24. Like, once you hit the 20 whatever, it's just like, and we're done. What else is new? Did you guys see the Super Bowl? I saw the Super Bowl, or I saw the first half of it. And I guess I should have stayed for the second, because apparently the second half was where it's at. I watched the first half, which was like, meh, kind of Eagles dominant, and I kind of figured the Eagles had it. And something about whenever my team's not in it, boy, am I just not interested. So yeah, I watched the first half. Meh. I wanted to watch up until the Rihanna show. Is it weird that it's probably one of the only times where I was looking forward to the halftime show more than I was the actual game. And the halftime show was kind of meh, kind of mid, as the kids say. It was very average. It's understandable. I mean, Rihanna, who is great, is also pregnant, so it's like you don't really want her doing cartwheels and backflips and like doing all this crazy shit because you're gonna hurt the baby. So it's like, all right, a lot of her performance was just like little head bobs and just like, kind of stuff like that. Which, again, understandable, but also like, maybe we should have got someone who wasn't pregnant to do the halftime show. I will give my beanie off to all of her background dancers because those dudes were doing some extreme athleticism. They were doing like fucking squat down and like kicking their legs and like bending back and like doing all this shit and like just like 12 minutes of just nonstop, really, really intense like cardio. And it's just like, dude, these guys are fucking killing it right now. Her background dances were so good that it was just her little minimal, like they were making her look amazing when she was barely doing anything. That's how good they were. It's also hilarious to see all the memes of like, the stage when she's like up on the platform and it's like Super Smash Brothers, fucking choose your character. Hilarious memes. There was also like one moment where like I actually felt oddly uncomfortable, like a little bit terrified for like 2 seconds. There's like a big finale shot where like they rise her up and like up to the tippy top, and she's just like on this like platform thing, and like you can see the wires that are like holding the platform, and it's just like, I don't know, just like this one moment of just like, ooh, I don't like how she's just way the fuck up there, just suspended by these little wires on this platform. I'm sure it was completely fail-safe, but still gave me a moment of just like, ooh, I don't like this pregnant lady being way elevated up like this. It's making me nervous. But overall, I mean, like, yeah, the game was fine. And then, like, I was doing other stuff. I came back at, like, the last minute just to be like, what's the, what did we end up here? And it's like, right when I click it on, it's like, the score is tied at like 34, whatever it was, they were tied up. And the announcers are just losing their mind. They're like, oh, everything's tied up. Oh, it's all coming down to this. And it's like, yeah, so I got to see the Kansas City kick. Kansas City wins another one, which, Kansas City in my division. So anytime they're doing well, it's generally frowned upon in Bronco country. But yeah, and that's the other thing too, is like, ever since Patrick Mahomes made his debut, he made his debut against Denver, and I will never, ever forget how hardcore the announcers were blowing Mahomes during that first game, dude. Never will I forget. Everything he did in that first game against Denver, the announcers were losing their minds. That was like the first time he did that stupid fucking shuttle pass thing, and they were like, oh, do you understand what you are seeing right now? This is historic. And I'm just like, it's like a forward lateral pass. Like, why are you going so hard on this dude? And then, like, that was the whole, like, thing of, like, whatever game when he got injured, and it's like, oh, man, that's going to be the story for sure, is how he got injured on his ankle, but then he played through the pain, and, like, it's just like, oh, great. We did a whole nother year of, like, everybody blowing Mahomes and hearing about how great he is. It's just like, what's worse than having, like, arguably one of the best teams in your division, just like, oh, great. Especially when your team is doing so god-awful. Hopefully we can steer the ship around, because newest Bronco Country news is that we got Sean Payton from the Saints, and I feel like that was the last chunk, right? Our last coach was not the best, so hopefully a seasoned veteran like Sean Payton can come in and whip everybody into shape. What an interesting mix. Sean Payton from the Saints, Russell Wilson from the Seahawks, and then all that blended into Bronco Country. Let's ride. So it's going to be a long wait until September, but, there's always next year to look forward to. And then, finally, what I wanted to talk about was that I saw The Woman King, starring Viola Davis, and boy, was I impressed by that movie. I mean, like, overall, it's a little bit long. I'd say that's probably, like, my biggest criticism is that it's like maybe a little bit too long. If they would have just shortened it just a little bit, I think it would have been better. But overall, really great movie. And then overall, Viola Davis being like, holy shit, why is she not in the next John Wick movie, dude? Viola Davis? First of all, can we just be in awe of the fact that she's like the same age as like Tom Cruise? I want to say that she's like 50 or like older. You know what? No, we need verification on this one. Yeah, dude, she's like 57. 57 years old. How old is Tom Cruise? 60. All right, so she's a little bit younger than Tom Cruise, but still, holy shit, she blew me away in this movie. She is, first of all, Shredsville. Anytime they show her back, it's just like, oh my God, look at those fucking shoulder and back muscles, Viola Davis, who up until now, I've basically only ever seen her like in a business suit. Whatever that show was, how to kill a murder, how to get away with murder. She's like a, lawyer, so she's always in lawyer business attire. And then I only know her else as like Amanda Waller, who is also, very business casual, business formal. And then so to find, dude, her fucking buys and tries, and I'm telling you, her back was insane. And not only did she look shredded as hell, but she acted the part of like fucking swordplay and fucking doing like jujitsu rolls and like jumping on dudes with their legs and like flip. Dude, it was very impressive to see a amazing woman of that age doing athleticism that I cannot even get close to. It was amazing. Really. Hats off to Viola Davis on killing it, and I'm telling you, like, throw her in the next John Wick, or make her part of that whatever that all-female John Wick spinoff that's coming, because Viola Davis gets down physically, like, she'll fuck you up. And then there was another part of Woman King that was like actually mind-blowing, and it was how unbelievably beautiful this like queen of like whatever the village or like whatever what is her name? Let's see, Jamie Lawson. My God, Jamie Lawson in this film is blindingly gorgeous. Like I could not even like, it's like looking at the sun. There was like a scene in the movie where I'm just like, oh, her beauty, I can't take it, my eyes. Like, I was like, she's like the queen of whatever. And I was just like, oh, your majesty, I am not worthy to look upon you. Like, my God. She was gorgeous in this movie. And I'm sure that she'll be in more. What has she done before this? Not a lot. Or at least not a lot that I've seen. But, my goodness, yeah. It was really. It was I can't even talk. It was re-released, which is why I saw it, and I'm glad I did. Overall, really cool movie. Very entertaining. We'll probably cut it there before we start rambling too long. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Go ahead and punch the old like and subscribe. It helps the show stay alive. I am your host, as always, Kyle McLemore, and we'll see you next time on the pod.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.